Welcome to the No Free Lunch Podcast. My name is Elijah. This is my homie Kenny.
Kenny X Hamlet.
We are new hunters later in life, trying to figure it out. We have no idea what we're doing. We have no sponsors. We don't want to sell you any gears or any false ideas about what it looks like to get into this thing.
Yep.
But we want to bring you along for the journey. We want to bring you along for the journey because we believe that people need outlets in their life to explore, to be creative, and to build community around. And so that's what we hope to do. We hope to build a community. We hope to stretch our brains and our resources and share it with people. And also to just be honest about it.
Do it the real way.
Do it the real way.
100%.
From zero to hopefully harvesting a meal to then sharing that meal with friends. And we want to share the whole process with you. And so if you want to come along with that journey, please join us at No Free Lunch Media. Get in the comments. We want to interact with you. We want to have conversations. And yeah.
And it's everything. It's the ups, the downs, the bad, the ugly. I can't even say beautiful because we ain't got that many beautiful moments yet.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you there's going to be one, at least one in the next 5 to 10 years. Because that's what it feels like.
We're good. We're in year 3, so we only got at least 2 more years
we
left.
got at least 2 more before 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a dope-ass journey to be able to talk about where we coming from in our hunting experience, wanting to share it and be real, and do something different.
Yeah.
Do something the hunting industry has not seen yet.
Yeah.
This is No Free Lunch. 3 years.
3 years. Year
3
3,
years.
bro.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
I feel like we all just started, but
It does, but it also feel like because I've had so many experiences now at this point that it feels like I've been hunting for like 10 years.
yeah. It's easier to feel that way when there's so much information out there, I feel like now.
Yeah.
But yeah. And also didn't dive in lightly. It was like dive in full. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what you got to do.
It's crazy. I feel like, all right, first question, because it is year 3. We've got a scheduled hunt at this point, like a for sure scheduled hunt in Montana.
Yeah, maybe 2, honestly, because Oregon spring.
That's very because you got
so
spring bear.
2.
I'm trying to hit the turkeys though. I don't know what it is. After having that experience with the turkeys, I'm like, I mess with turkeys for sure.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of fire. It's a cool hunt.
They're in the same areas as bears too.
Exactly. So we'll be in the same spot.
Yeah.
It would just be somebody's in reaches going off.
yeah, we know which one out of the 2 of us will be successful. Probably not me.
But speaking of success,
Yeah.
what do you think the odds are for success this year? It's 3 years in. You've had a lot of experiences.
In terms of like which animal?
Any
animal?
Oh, big game.
So all of
Big
them.
game.
If we get one out of all of them,
Any of them. It could be any of them. But
Ooh,
it's big game though.
that's
It's big
hard.
game. What do you think your
That's hard.
success, your chance for success? And that's like not saying like, oh, I got a 5% chance with elk and then a 75. Just like overall getting
Overall
one of the. I guess what did you say? One of the 3.
one of the 3. Yeah. I think the chance is pretty high in terms of like effort and knowledge. Like, yeah, I think that there's a high chance. Like,
Okay.
I above 70% is
Okay.
what I say.
So you got like, say you hunt, I don't know, 20 days.
Yeah.
What's your minimum amount of days to have that chance of success? Do you think
Still cumulative for all 3.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Because even for last year, for elk archery alone, I think I put in probably about 16 days.
Dang.
Or something like that. It was a lot of days.
Yeah.
Because I did a week with Brian.
Yep.
Before that, I did 4 or 5 days by myself.
Yep.
And then I came down those 2 days with deer.
Yep.
So those don't really count. But and then we went back 2 days and 3. So I mean,
I think it was it's probably close to that.
It was close to 2
I
weeks.
feel like it was like 4 or 5 days again after you came out to deer camp.
Yeah. Because I did kind of go back on my own for a couple of days, and then I met up with my buddy Brian and his whole camp. So yeah, I feel like, and what I've learned is that's sort of what matters.
It's the days.
Yeah, days in the field. Because you're just trying to increase your interactions, right?
Yeah.
And it takes At least what it seems like. It takes a couple days when you get into a zone to even figure out what's going on in that zone. And then usually from the first interaction, the second, maybe, you start to put clues together.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like knowing that and going into this year with the priority being days in the field, that the chances are higher.
Isn't it crazy to think that too? Like how your perspective changes? Because before I would say my mind wasn't days in the woods. I just thought I had a good, like year one, I was like, I'm putting the elk.
Yeah. You were hella confident.
I was because I was going out with Bob, and I'm like, there's no way I don't go home with a freezer full of elk, man. I'm feeding everybody.
Yeah.
Then year two, I was like,
I think you had that confidence with a bow, which is wild.
Which is crazy. Yeah. There was a little, I've been feeling myself a little too much, which is crazy when I think back on that. I'm like, you were a fool, bro.
No, but that's like beginner's optimism.
Yeah, and I still got it though. It's funny enough, but I also am like on this verge of being like, all right, if I can't do it this year, just call me Duck King. Like,
I'll just stick to these waterfowl.
If it ain't got wings, I don't want it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though. Now I recognize it is days in the woods, and the more days you go in the woods, the higher your probability goes up.
1,000%.
Which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Because then you just have you have to plan on spending half a month in the woods.
Yeah.
For real. Which is
like those people with the weekend warriors and stuff, and I'm sure they get lucky.
Yeah.
But I think, and I knew this coming into it because I listened to a bunch of podcasts even like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Steve Rinella was saying like the guys who are the most successful are the guys who are in the woods.
Yeah.
Who are in the woods, not even just like they're in the woods during season. They're in the woods on the front and the back end of season.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the woods for archery, for rifle. Like they're just in the woods.
Yeah.
And like knowing that now, like when you hear it as a newbie who's never been in the field one day,
yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, cool. I'll be in the woods for a week, and then you get to day 2 and you haven't seen or heard anything. There's a whole different like mental game to play.
Oh, 100%.
It's a whole different. It's real. At that point.
It's like. And I get why people say you got to be in love with the process, because otherwise you feel like you're just wasting days.
Yeah.
You're like, I could be doing something else.
Right.
Anything else, really, because I'm just sitting in the woods with a bow or a shotgun or a rifle or whatever it is.
Tired, cold, hot, whatever it
all
is.
Of it.
Uncomfortable.
Just not happy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's it. And now it's like going into year 3, I'm like, all right, it's just efforts.
Yeah, it's effort.
It's how many reps can I put in. Like, especially, I think I'm most confident in my deer spot for sure.
I was gonna say, what's your percentile?
My percentage, I think if I do 10 days, I'm sitting at 80.
80%.
80.
Because you're gonna put in most time for deer.
Absolutely. My blacktail deer spot, I'm still gonna be like, I'm shooting anything. If it's a deer, and I learned this like from last year, like if it's a deer and it can walk,
it's legal.
Going down. If it's standing up, it's going down. Like that's my stance on it now. Because I'm like, last year I had a one that set, and I literally could have shot it. It was at 40 yards. It was just shy of 40 yards. And I looked at it. I watched it. I was like, dang, that's a deer.
That was the fawn. That was like the baby.
Yeah, the little baby one. And I was just like, I don't know if I can shoot a baby.
Yeah, is it legal?
Take my phone out, film it, put my phone back away, still spot it, and then watch it.
And it was still sitting.
Yeah, and it was hanging out because it was young and it didn't know what I was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I was chasing it, which is still crazy because the stock I put in was like, it was like a movie. like I saw it at like, I don't remember what the distance was, but it was deep. It was super far away, and I just saw its mom. I didn't even see the baby. And then I literally hiked up this hill, like across this valley, up this hill, and I'm literally crawling on broken sticks on a cut field, and come around the corner, and I'm like, come over the peak.
There it was.
And there's his mom.
Where'd
the mom spotted me and bounced off a little bit. And then I was like, oh, shoot, got down, kind of crawled around and moving. And then I come up, and the mom is sitting at the top of right at the edge of the cut. And the baby is sitting back like another 40 yards, which is like 40 yards from me. And I'm just looking at it like,
yeah,
can I kill that?
Yeah.
And watch it bounce away. And I was like, dang, I would have been done. I'd be done.
Had some tender.
Yeah, it would have been a baby, but it would have been my baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm like, I think with that spot and as much action, and if there's no fires, right? Like,
That was
there's
big.
so many things that have to
Big one.
play. But I think if everything falls the way it should, I should be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. I think yeah, especially being in that area and seeing how many deer there are, and then just the ability to shoot anything
Anything
because there's
that's
so
a
many deer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, you have killed an animal there.
we can say yeah.
You know,
It's
yeah.
it probably died.
I
Die
definitely,
somewhere.
I think definitely it did. But which is a whole nother part of this like growth thing and learning. Like the hunt really isn't over until you're standing over the animal, and I feel like
Yeah,
the hunt doesn't even get crucial really until you've shot the arrow, because
yeah.
our mistake was making a bunch of noise.
And running straight in after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even though it's like, it's funny because when I look back on that, I'm like, had I just sat there,
Mm-hmm.
right, when I first shot the arrow, and if I would have just stayed there,
Yeah, because you shot
because
it.
I shot and then went straight in,
Yeah,
and I'm like, had I just shot it and sat,
yeah,
and I could have just like collected myself and like been like, wow, I shot a deer, that's great. I shot at a deer is what I could have said,
yeah.
and I could have sat there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever.
But the
That
question
deer
of
would
like,
probably be sitting at the very first spot where we found all that blood,
Yeah.
right at the bottom of the first hill.
yeah, because I was back at the truck chilling.
Because you were on your own hunt.
Yeah, exactly. I was either way. I was nowhere near to disrupt the woods. Your part of the woods.
Yeah,
If you'd have sat there for 30 minutes,
there's even a better chance that it could have just like bedded down right
Yeah.
where we found all that blood, where it probably bedded down the first time.
yeah, and then it bedded down to that second time in the other spot.
Yep, and we just kept bumping it.
And you got a clean pass through. That blood
Yeah.
was deep, dark red,
Yeah,
and there was a lot of it.
There's a lot of
and it was
it.
a little deer, little dull. But that's you just we're
That's
learning.
fun.
You know what I mean? Coyotes got to eat too. The vultures got to eat too.
yeah,
Feeding
the
nothing goes to waste
ecosystem.
in the woods. To be
Yeah.
honest, we're the only wasteful things. But it's just exciting, bro.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's like, it's crazy that it's here already. Like in
Yeah.
my mind, it felt like we just finished hunting because duck season just ended, and it's not technically. I mean, we still got late goose season,
Yeah,
but
goose season.
I don't think I'm even gonna put any reps on that.
Yeah.
Just need a second.
I feel like it's a good time to switch mental gears.
Yeah, I don't know how guys do it, honestly. Like
Like-
hunting all year long and putting in 15 days per season, say,
Mm.
right? Like, I don't know how dudes do it.
Well, I think probably with at least with the waterfowl and stuff, if you have that dialed, like you have your spots dialed
Yeah,
and your times and your weather and your blind, like I imagine some of these guys are like the guys who are hunting that much. They've got access to certain things that we don't
Yeah.
always, that most public land hunters don't have, and so waterfowl is the easiest, most.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like, it don't offend me, and I love waterfowl. I'm like, it's absolutely the easiest, which is why I always like now when somebody's telling me they're interested in going out and hunting with me, I'm like, yo, yeah, let's go waterfowl.
sit in a
hunt.
duck blind.
Yeah, like a duck blind, especially if you can get in a blind. Like that's the easiest. That's the easiest introduction to hunting. Period, and it gives people the opportunity to have reps. Where like a lot of the other hunting doesn't. Like I was talking to Jimmy the other day, and he was the dude that told me I shouldn't bow hunt for the first year or two, and just learn to hunt. And he's like, I'm just happy you still hunt. Like you know,
yeah.
like the fact that I jumped in on bow and it was like didn't even see an animal in the woods. Like most people would just be like,
Fuck this.
cool, putting this up on Craigslist.
Yeah. After spending all that money and all that time, yeah. But that is again like it comes down to attrition. Like it just and all of I've been listening a lot to the Eastman's podcast. They have two. They have two, and both the guy who heads up both of them, Eastman's Elevated and Eastman's Life of a Bow Hunter.
Okay.
And this guy's like crazy, right? Like runs 10 miles a day, like puts in a lot of work, runs a construction company, hunts like as many times as he can. He's running Eastman's, all this stuff. Dan Picard, I think his name is. And realizing that like he is so successful because he is willing, he's not going to stop.
Yeah.
And then his hunting partner was on the podcast recently and was talking about it. He's like, that we'll go further and deeper and for longer than anybody will. And that's why we're successful. And we're at that point, I think, in hunting, because most people don't have any success in the first 3 or 4 years. Some people don't have success in the first 8 years, especially on a bow, or 10 years on a bow, right? And so, like, granted, those are probably the weekend warriors. They're only going out 2 days or 3 days a season. But And not no shade to Weekend Warriors. Like
Do what you can to get in the woods.
Yeah. If you're in the woods, you're in the woods, and we may be that one day.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes to this whole project and what we're doing.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just about who can be there the longest and pay attention the most and for the longest. You know? And 3 or 4 years is I feel you. But I think after my experiences last year, I think if you draw back on a bull, big bull, little bull, I think that first interaction with a herd that close where you have an opportunity, I think you'll be obsessed with elk again.
Man, which we won't talk about on this episode,
but
we will get into your encounter on the next, not the next episode, but one of these episodes for sure. Because I think like hearing about the journey and the experience, I like, for me, the thing I hate the most about the hunting industry is the fact that they make it seem like it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like the only time you can find people that fail at hunting is if you're in like the shitty vlog style videos. You're never gonna see a Sitka hunt video or like a Kuiu or any other brands. You're never gonna see that stuff where people are failing.
That shit doesn't sell.
I mean, that's fair. It ain't gonna sell me a new jacket, but and none of it's gonna sell me a jacket, to be honest.
Yeah, for real.
Except that Sitka Delta Wade. That was like, I heard enough people talking about that, and I got one and was like, yo, that jacket is worth every single penny.
Yeah. So as easy as waterfowl is, you suffer a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Them cold mornings.
Yeah.
And you like, especially the waders that are
100%.
If you have shitty, leaky waders and it's 2 degrees outside and you're in the water.
I struggle though, because I'm like, just get whatever you can to get out there and do it.
Absolutely.
But if you can't afford good waders, spend your money on waders, not a shotgun.
Yeah.
Because like at least the shotgun is, if it goes pow, is good enough.
Yeah.
You spend the money on the waders because the waders are going to be the thing that keep you dry and warm.
They'll keep you in the blind the longest.
Yeah.
Then you'll have more opportunities.
More opportunities on birds.
Which is, we could talk about another podcast about buying good gear, because I'm learning. It's just, it pays.
Outer layers is the most important thing.
Yeah, stay dry.
Period, bro.
That's it. Stay dry.
Especially if you live out here, out west. Like if you're a Western hunter, like I can't speak to Arizona or any of the other places, but if you're anywhere where it gets wet, the gear matters.
Yeah, the outer layer matters.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate when people would be like, "Well, they used to hunt in jeans in a." Yeah, well, there wasn't as much pressure back then.
Yeah. And also a wax canvas jacket, undefeatable.
It's pretty good, but it's got to be hot as a mug inside of that, though. I will say that. Like, that joint don't breathe.
It don't breathe, but like, imagine. Also, there were a lot more animals back then, so
let's keep
that. They probably didn't have to go as far.
Yeah, they're probably not pushing it as far back in that wax canvas and then Levi jeans.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
But I don't know. I think the more, like when I first got into hunting, my idea around what it looked like to be a hunter, like it's the big pushes in the back. It's like all this crazy epicness. And then when I sat in the duck blind and I was like, yo, you can sit in the duck blind and just kill shit. I'm comfortable sitting in the duck blind all day.
Yeah.
I can sit in a saddle all day or a tree stand all day. But I refuse that idea of what like tree stand hunters, like I'd be like, oh, they're this, they're that. And then I started like really digging deeper into like blacktail deer, and it was like everybody I'm seeing kill monsters,
they're in a tent.
They're in a freaking stand.
Yeah, and that they don't. And this is the unjust thing that it is done to them, is it doesn't show the pre-scouting. There's a lot of miles that are put in. In scouting.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it yet, but I don't think it's that actually easy to sit in a saddle or stand that for a whole day.
I think it is if you know that you got a monster.
Yeah, if you know there's something in the area, for sure. But think about like all of the strategy that goes into like you're scouting, and then I have to have an entry point that's not going to disturb it. I have to make sure that I'm in here when the winds aren't moving a certain way. I have to set up, and like there's a lot that goes into that aspect of
fair.
Hunting.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not it doesn't sell for movies, I'm sure, and little films.
Because I don't want to sit and watch. I mean, that film is 15 seconds long.
Yeah. Literally.
You know?
Yeah.
It's me climbing in the tree, sitting in the tree, pulling my bow back, popping it, and
Yeah.
you can't show animals being processed on YouTube. So
Which is wild. That's a whole nother.
that's it. Boom. Instagram reel.
Straight to the dinner plate. Yeah. Yeah. So 70, 80.
80%.
Deer is your big
80%.
thing.
Deer's definitely big. I'm gonna do. I think I have to do because I want to spend that early first deer season in my deer woods. I think I have to do a damage tag, so I can do that. Otherwise, I can't hunt deer and elk, which is what I found last year. It was like I have to split my time, and because I was so close so many days that I was like, I can't get out of these woods. Like I gotta be here for these deer. Like I gotta make it happen.
It was crazy. It's crazy that you're like, this is your last year for big game. When you've had enough interactions, and I feel like you've experienced the thing, because you're probably reliving those moments all the time.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that to me is what makes a hunter like stick around. Is that like you're cutting some stuff up to cook, and you're just thinking about like,
dang,
when you
bought this at the store when I could have just,
or yeah. But how many times are you driving down the road and you're thinking about like walking and being like, oh shit, it's a deer.
Yeah.
Range, knock, draw.
Yep.
Like you're thinking about all that. I reliving those moments all the time.
Yeah.
That's what. I feel like that's what gets inside of you.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'll never give up deer. I just haven't had that moment with an elk. Like to me, elk are still fake. Like they're fake unless I see them at what's the spot? The reserve.
Yeah.
Like that's the only time they're
elk zoo.
Yeah, the elk zoo. That's the only time they're real to me because I've never seen one in season. Like everything I saw was outside of season, and then
seeing one in the woods is different.
But I haven't seen one in the woods.
Yeah, that was my goal last year. Was like it'll be a successful season if I get to see a bull in the woods.
Yep.
And then when I'm sitting there at 40 yards from one for an hour.
That's got to be the wild experience.
Bro. Like and even from the first time you hear like a stick crack.
Yeah.
Like I had heard bugles and then I heard sticks crack. And I was like, oh shit.
It's happened.
Oh. I think after you have that experience, it'll be just like deer is for you now.
Yeah.
In your zone, where you're like, I can't let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I think I'm also like willing to travel now, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I think that makes a huge difference as well. And it just allows us to have so much more hunting.
For sure.
Like,
yeah.
And the idea of just like every time I bought meat this year, like it's low key made me sad. And I'm like, dang. I shouldn't be buying this.
A failure.
Yeah, like I suck at hunting. It's my reminder every time I go into the store. I know. I think it's just you're a competitive person too.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to turn that off. And I realize like that's like one of the things that's so difficult. And I talk about this all the time where it's like it took me so long to get to the level that I was in track, and then I expect the overnight success.
Right.
With everything else, I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like it's just hours.
It's easy, and maybe this is why they don't show it very often. But because for them who are making the movies, it's so easy to glaze over all of that pre-work.
Yep.
And then also like coming at it where we don't have where our mentors and our knowledge, because it's one thing to watch YouTube and sit on the internet all day.
Yep.
Which we found that like there's a lot of bad information out there, and
it's information that doesn't work for us. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it doesn't work for us. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It
doesn't work for us. And and to be honest, a lot of times they're trying to sell you something. So
100%. So that's mostly YouTube.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to they want to look like the type of person that can sell you something. If they're not trying to sell you something, they're trying to get to the place to be able to sell you something.
For sure.
And that's the intention with the majority of it. And again, I get it. It's
a business.
Yeah, it's all a business. Everything we do is a business. So if you're going to spend your time doing something you love, hopefully you can get paid.
Yeah, absolutely. Make your bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here. We're still babies in this thing. and the amount of information. And I feel like even in the 3 years, if we've had any wins, it's been the connections that we've been able to connect to get with that, so that we have knowledge to lean on.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know for me as a hunter, that's been the thing. That's been the place where I've seen the most exponential growth was just being in the woods with people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, because I feel like even like, you know, because the first year I hunted with Bob.
Yeah.
So I just had somebody that was there the whole time. Your first year, you were just out figuring it out.
Yeah.
And then second year, you got, where did you met Brian and them through like a friend, right?
No, at the archery range.
It was the archery range,
the public archery range.
Yeah, the public archery range.
Yeah.
And so then it was like you made this friend that then was like, hey, I'm going to take you out. You can come hunt with us.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like you just like turned the corner.
Yeah, that was big for me. That was big for me because it was one, it showed me that okay, all hunters aren't assholes. No. And not everybody not everybody's trying to gatekeep their spots. And then two, it is easier to be in the woods and if you have a day where you don't see anything, it's easier to get up the next day when you know that there's 4 or 5 guys outside the tent in their tents that are getting up to make coffee to go back into the woods based on the last day that they just had, right? I noticed that hunting, a lot of guys have success solo, and I would love to get to that point because I feel like that's sort of my goal. I want to be a good just hunter on my own,
like big game backcountry solo hunter.
Yeah. I want to like to the nth degree, right?
Yep.
But having people there to like bounce ideas off of, and we're going down a deer trail or whatever, like seeing in the way that they move through the woods and the things that they're looking for, and the sounds that they're listening for, it just changed. It just changed. I was like, oh, this works. This is real.
Yep.
And then for it to culminate on my second to last day having the interaction that I did.
Yep.
I was like, oh, it actually works. And even before I had my interaction, it was so exciting because we would leave camp. Maybe sometimes there were 6 of us, sometimes there were 7 of us.
Dang. Going
in different directions, and we had these plays. There would be a car here, and we'd work to the car, and then we meet up, and then head back to camp. 2 or 3 of the days, we got back to our meetup point, and we were hunting kind of in pairs, and two of the guys, two of the traditional bow guys, were having interactions like back-to-back days, and I'm like, oh shit, it's real. There's actually bulls in the woods, and they're doing elk things. You know what I mean?
Doing the shit I see on YouTube.
Yeah, they're doing elk things, and they're bugling like Roosevelt's don't bugle.
Yeah.
Fuck, yes they do. They just don't bugle the way that you hear them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really encouraging, easier to keep going at it day after day, and to sit at the bottom of a ridge and be like, yo, we got to push up 1,000 feet, and then we're gonna work down this ridge.
Knowing that somebody's right there with you, that's got the same intention.
Yeah. When we had split, like we'd work up and then split and hit a ridge like 3 different ways and work back to the car. But knowing that, like, you know, Brian's over there and Chris is over there working it, and oh shit, those are cow calls. Like, we could pinch, you know, like it just became real, and I just saw it. I saw it start to work and start to come together. With people who had success, and really a lot of success. It was really helpful just to have that, to remind me that like I'm not just out here, because when you're out there by yourself and you don't know what you're doing,
the woods are big.
What am I doing? Like, am I making too much noise? Am I supposed to go this way or that
far
way?
enough? Is it like there's a million things you could be or could not be doing right? Yeah, you just don't have a clue.
No, nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
You're literally like digging through the dark.
Yeah.
You know?
That's crazy. Do you think if you had not met those dudes, you would still have the same drive you do for hunting right now?
I don't know. It's hard to say, because if I would have went through last season and had an interaction, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But if I would have went through last season and not had an interaction, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Even, I mean, shit. You had I would call it an interaction on your own when you went out to the coast.
Yeah,
straight off the truck.
First day. Yeah. Okay. so this is the hunting with those guys. It helped me put that experience in context.
Mhm.
Because so what happened is my first day of archery elk, I drive out to a spot. Been listening to a bunch of podcasts, Randy Newberg, all these guys, Remy Warren, these guys who are guides. And if you listen to them, they won't always say it, but they'll say it occasionally that the real money in public land is on the border of private land.
Yeah.
Like they won't, because they try to. A lot of times they'll sell the far and deep, and I think that works, and that's what I want to go. And there are definitely animals in there, but if you're trying to have success, a lot of times you got to work that border. I think there's ways to work a border.
Yeah.
So I scouted out a spot, e-scouting. It was close to an area that I'm familiar with. Go there. I'm in the woods, having all those negative thoughts. I'm back at it again. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just walking, step in a beehive, like all this, I'm back there panicking, being by myself, and then I throw off a couple cow calls and I hear a bugle.
Yeah.
Like,
That ain't real.
yeah.
That's
is hunters.
That's somebody else.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
No trucks in 2 hours, man.
And that was the thing, is I'm driving in this area and I saw one truck and they were clearly not hunters. And then there was one dude who had just been camping there. So I'm like, doesn't make sense. Walk a little bit, cow call, bugle. Oh shit. That's an elk. That's a bull.
Yeah.
And so I started working towards it. It was kind of a ridge, and then it worked down into the border of the private land. And there's kind of like finger ridges, like small ones, maybe like 500-foot ridges. They're not huge. And I start, I've got an arrow knocked at this point because I'm like, there's a bull very close. Like,
yeah.
And I know he's that way down, like towards the private land. And there must be a herd because I've been following, like when elk go through the woods, they leave like a highway. Like,
Yep.
So I've been following that all the way to where this bull was. I'd seen fresh poop. And then he kind of went quiet for maybe 15 minutes. And then I think I threw out another call. And then I heard from behind me, I heard something busting down towards the private land.
Yeah.
And I tell that story to Brian and Chris and those guys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Satellite had come in to check you out quietly." Like, just for me, before all that, like the 4 or 5 days before I got to hunting with them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, it was a black bear, it was a mountain lion, maybe. Ain't no way it was an elk.
Yeah.
Ain't no way it was a bull.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, a bull came in silently. That happens.
Yo.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was over here. Nah, that was another bull.
That's the crazy part, is that that's the experience most people get with Roosevelt's.
Yeah.
It's the quiet satellite that just comes in
Mm-hmm.
and just makes a move, and then they just happen to be in the right position, right time, and they're like, they never say anything. You don't hear them sound off.
No, they're quiet.
Yeah.
Just like ghosts. And you're like, how does a thing with that big of horns like walk quietly through the woods? But
Bro.
they do.
That shit is the thing that always, I'm like, they could be around me all the time and I just don't know.
Yeah.
And you hear something break and you're like, is that help?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the thing.
I'm making it up.
Yeah. Without any sort of like knowledge or confirmation.
Yeah.
You are just making it up.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It is wild, though. You get these experiences that then just like lead you to becoming a better, more confident hunter. Because I feel like that was like the bear season. That was probably my most, like, going into turkey was crazy, and then running into bears, and then being like, oh shit, this is bear country. Why didn't I put that together?
Yeah,
and then being like, oh, let me walk through these places, find water, find everything, and I'm like, oh shit, there's a bear here for sure. And then getting it on cam, and then running into what I think was a bear, but still don't know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Like, just spooked it. I don't know what it was. Never got eyes on it and was terrified to drop down into the draw with my rifle.
I mean, rightfully so, bro.
Yeah.
Because it could have been a cat.
Yeah.
Which, I guess.
Still think it may have been a cat, though. But I have no clue. Never saw it. But I do know that there was a bear right in the same area, and I've seen it shit everywhere in that area.
Yeah. And that begs, like, again, you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
You're just out there.
Yeah.
And so what do? You dive off into this ditch
Into literally a
Potentially
ditch
with
to go die.
with a cat? or bear. Like
a bear, I feel more confident about. Like,
Yeah.
if it was a bear, I feel like you probably be all right.
which is a wild statement.
It is,
Like
but
you're-
it's probably my newbie like confidence, right?
yeah.
Like, nah, if it's a black bear, you be all right.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
You just shoot it or whatever.
Okay, and then hunting by yourself or hunt if you're hunting like if I was there or if Adam was there, somebody
It
else was there,
changes it.
it changes it. Because
Yeah.
you we're going in there now,
Yeah.
right?
Now it's two people, and I can feel more confident and be like, if I don't see it, at least somebody else might see it, or both of us gonna die together. Like,
Yeah, or somebody's gonna pick up on a clue.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, this is cat shit.
Like, you don't feel that?
Yeah.
I think it's eyeballs on us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something. But it's just like you go out by yourself and it changes the whole world. But then I just started getting more confident because I felt like I got lucky because I got to film other hunters.
Mm.
So I got to see what they do and how they move. And it's like, especially when I hunted with the dude, I can't think of his name right now. But his Instagram is Black Duck Revival.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So I got to hunt with him turkey.
Mm.
And he is like, the way I would describe him is he's like old school hunter. Like, he's like, sit the fuck back. Like, just
Yeah.
you know, like don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
You the cameraman, you sit the fuck back. And I'm like, all right, bro, I got you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna mess it up. And if I mess
So
it
I
up,
got the
my
long
bad.
lens.
yeah. And so I literally got to sit back and just watch the way that they work. And I was like, dang, it's like when you see somebody do it, it's
different.
such a way to build confidence.
It's different. Yeah. Yeah. You think by watching those videos that like you can really and you can pick up a lot.
Yeah.
You have to spend a lot of time and really pay attention to the nitnoy details, but there's nothing compares to being in the woods.
Experience it on your own, or not on your own, but like experience it for yourself, I should say.
Yeah, see it. There's I think there's like that animal thing to where like, it's like a dog watching its mom lick from a water bowl. It's like,
Yep.
oh, that's how I, and
That's
then
how I'm supposed to do it?
Yeah, it's
Now I'm doing it.
yeah, like walking in the woods with people who know what they're doing. It changes it and gets you
Yep.
further along. So, but yeah, we're here now.
Yep.
This is year 3, so 2 years later,
Yep,
2 years,
yep.
2 seasons. What's the thing that you wish you would have known when you first started? Like, if you're talking to yourself from 2 years ago, what would you say to Kenny from back then?
That's hard because I don't think I would change anything. Like I would let myself be as stupidly confident as I was. I would just tell myself I can't even say buy, but I would not buy. I would be like, don't buy that fucking expensive ass bow. Like that for sure. Like I think, I would tell myself to not get caught up in the trying to look like a hunter, because everything else I feel like was okay.
It was like
It was worthwhile.
Yeah.
The shitty part was the elk season not getting to hunt the way I wanted to the first year.
That's okay. Sidebar that one.
Yeah. Not getting to hunt the way I wanted to the first year, but it's so hard because I'm still hunting.
Yeah.
Like I may not have had success, and I haven't necessarily done what I was hoping I would do already. And it's stupid to think that you're gonna have success in Western big game hunting in a state like Oregon. Like, can you get lucky and shoot something in Idaho or Montana or Colorado, Wyoming? Yeah, you could get lucky, and you're more likely to get lucky there. And I say lucky because I don't think a brand new hunter is gonna be skilled enough to successfully hunt. They just got lucky.
Yeah.
That's my take. That's my hot take, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's I'll have to send you the podcast, but there was one guy who, like, hearing his story about his first year, the only reason he got lucky, he didn't get lucky. He put in the work.
Okay.
But he was like singularly focused to the point where it almost ruined his marriage.
Oh yeah. So that's not luck. That's different. I'll give you that.
Yeah. That was like, but he was coming into it, and he even said I think he lives in Oregon now.
Oh shit.
He lives in Eugene. That'd be dope to actually connect with him.
That would be dope. Yeah.
Which I actually, it sounded like it almost ruined his marriage, is what I picked up from it. But it was he had mentors.
Oh, okay.
That's
not luck. Yeah.
He had mentors.
Like where they were out with him on the hunts?
No, they weren't out on the hunt, but everything leading up to it.
Yeah.
The shooting his bow, the e-scouting,
practicing all the skills, like everything.
Yeah.
Like literally going 3D target shooting
Probably.
because it's such a different experience than just standing on flat ground with a flat surface that's not shaped like an animal. Like all those things, drawing on a curve and you're shooting downhill at something at 88 yards or
it's dark.
27 yards, like all
Yeah.
the in-betweens and shit. Yeah, it's dark. You got light coming through little dapples,
Yeah.
all of the shit. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff.
The elk, even with those 3D ranges, the elk or the animal is never going to, not never, they're not standing there perfect, like, shoot me right here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They will, they're going to stand how they want to stand.
Yeah.
They're going to look at you the way they want to look at you.
Yep.
So you have to, it's all, yeah. But he had help with all of that.
Okay.
From like really good people.
Yeah.
But it was also because he put in, sounds like he put in the work.
So that's different to me. In my opinion. I think like the average person who gets into hunting, most people, unless you, especially a late onset hunter, I'll say, a late onset hunter, they don't have mentors. They usually are figuring it out for themselves because they wanted to do it their entire life but never knew how to. Now they have that, like, the resources to do so.
Yeah.
And so I would say the average person like that, those people get lucky.
I see.
There are outliers they will put in the work. They'll find like a group like a Hunters of Color or what's another one, like backcountry hunters and anglers, and go to their meetups and meet people to then have like mentors or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not the majority of late onset hunters. The majority of them are going to go to Cabela's, go get them some camo, get the rifle, go shoot it 2 times at the range.
Yeah. Because that's what they think. They think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you think you have to do.
And so then they get lucky.
Yeah.
But if you do all the other shit, like, you're not getting lucky. You put the work in, and it makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at that point now where I think realizing that is probably going to be one of our better advantages.
Oh, for sure.
I'm naturally an optimist. I mean, a pessimist.
I would say that.
Yeah. I'm naturally a pessimist, and so like,
which is wild to give the number you gave being a pessimist. I was expecting you to say way lower, to be honest.
Oh, I say that out loud, but what I say to myself is much lower, right?
Okay.
It's because I'm like, well, if what I'm saying is true about time in the field, then objective whatever, it should be like a good chance, because I'm gonna put in, God willing, I'm gonna put in a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right. But what I tell myself and what makes me study and exercise and shoot my bow and shoot my rifle and spend money I don't want to spend and do the things I don't want to do in preparation.
Yep.
Is me telling myself that the only way that I'm gonna be successful is if I have to believe that I have to believe that I'm gonna fail in order to work hard, and that's just the way my brain works. Like I have to fear failure in order to work hard, and
Yes.
I've always been that way. Even when, like, back when I was I used to do martial arts, and I did a little bit of like competing.
Okay.
And what made me work so hard, I hate running.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it,
Yeah.
But what made me work out and stay getting really good shape was fear.
Yeah.
I was fucking terrified of getting beat.
Somebody kick my ass.
Yeah. And it wasn't gonna, and if they did beat me, and it wasn't gonna be because they beat me, it was because I let myself down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's sort of how I have to think, and that is where my mind goes right now with like going into this first bear hunt this year. Is like, if I am unsuccessful, it's going to be because I didn't put in the work, not because there's no animals or I didn't have the right rifle, the right backpack, or the right.
Yep.
It's because I failed.
It's crazy because then it also puts like low key on me. Like, it's a pressure on me to be like, bro, you got to be in shape to be able to keep up with him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, like, as a cameraman, I'm like, I don't want to fuck up the hunt. Like, even if I wasn't bringing my camera, I still feel that pressure because I'm like, I don't want to fuck up the hunt. Like, I don't want to be the reason why we can't go further.
Yeah.
And that's a legit stress for me, which makes it so that I'm like, get the fuck up, let's go work.
Yeah, hunting with other people, it's accountability is what it is. Like, it makes you feel that way. One of the days we were hunting, I was hunting with Chris Bryan and me. I went off one way, they dove off one other way. They got back to the truck from their hunt. waited for me for a while. I didn't come back from my hunt. And then I came out of the woods like after that, like probably 2 or 3 hours after they had already been waiting, right? They went back to camp, got some food, and came back. And then I hadn't even eaten food, and I heard a bugle. Chris and Brian came back. Chris is a trad bow guy. He's been hunting elk for like 5 years and still hasn't gotten his elk. So it was like, we need to get elk. We need to get Chris an elk.
Wait. He's been hunting 5 years and hunts trad bow?
He hunts.
So he like learned to shoot. I'm imagining
Yeah.
like shot bow for a while, then got into, or probably just even learned on trad.
I'm not 100% sure of his full story, but all I know is he made his arrows, made his bow.
That's so dope.
You know, he's been hunting elk for a while and hasn't got one. Had opportunities, but he's just like a really, like he knows he has to have the perfect situation. Like those guys have to get within like 25 yards, right?
Yeah.
Like, and he's really disciplined and really like controlled. And so I get back to the thing. They're ready to go again, and it was like accountability was like, I'm tired and hungry, but the hunt is still on. Like we gotta go. I gotta go drop down another 800 feet and back up to go after this elk so we can get elk Chris something. Like it I don't know, hunting with people will do that for you, which is dope. It'll make you better in a way. Like make you really grind it out.
I think that's the thing that I'm like, I recognize was like, if you go with someone, they have to have the same mentality.
Yeah,
like the same hunting style.
Yeah, so that was the sidebar I wanted to put in. Is like your first year, you hunted with somebody who hunts in a different style than you.
And which is crazy because I can't even say I had a style because it's my first year hunting.
Yeah, but you had an
But
expectation.
I had an idea of what my hunting style was supposed to be.
Yeah. Hunting with somebody who hunts, you can't hunt with everybody, bro.
Oh, facts.
You can't.
For
can't
so
hunt.
many reasons.
You can't, and not even just.
You can't go get drinks with everybody.
Exactly, yo. Yeah.
Like,
yes. But you can't even hunt duck with everybody.
Yeah,
we've learned that.
I mean, I learned that.
Yeah, you can't.
Some folks ain't coming back to the blinds.
Yeah, it's just not happening, right?
Yeah.
And somebody probably says that about me. Somebody might say that about you, and that's
100%.
fine.
Yeah, I know for a fact there's some people that I've hunted with that are like, yo, I'm not hunting with him no more.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. Like I think, like, as a grown ass man, personally for me right now, I'm like, you do not have to ride with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm fine with who I am now. And it took me a minute to get there. Like now I think with just doing all the shit that I like to do, or finding out what I like, what I don't like, and committing to those things and being that person that I want to be, that's what matters to me.
Yeah.
Like, am I showing up the way I want to show up in the world? And if I'm not, then I need to change that shit. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Period. And so I'm like, that's cool. You may not like the way I hunt. You may not like the way that, like, I might shoot a bird at 40 yards and you might be like, bro, why are you shooting? Like, wait till they come all the way in. I'm like, that's it. You know? Or it's like, it's a lot of different, like, I call a lot. And some people will be like, bro, chill out with the calling. And I'm like, works for me.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know? And
it keeps you in the blind.
That's, yeah. It's like what keeps me in it. And I hunted with some people that, like, and it was cool watching them hunt because I'm like, dang, you hunt so different than me. And you kill hella birds also. And so I'm like, opens my mind up to be like, well, maybe you should try it this way next time.
Yeah. You have to hunt in your own style.
Yeah.
But then what you said about you wanting to show up to be the man that you want to be.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's more important is you being the person you want to be.
Oh, 100%.
I think, again, goes back into this year. You just turned 34.
Yep.
We're like mid-30s. Around the corner could be kids.
Yep.
Things are changing.
Yep.
It's like who we are. Who do you want to be when we're sitting here at 44? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so going into this year, it feels like, I wonder if a part of you feeling like this is it for you for big game does it have anything to do with approaching that point in life where, like, this is like trajectory, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we're thinking momentum,
yeah.
If it happens this year, the momentum continues into the next 10 years or whatever, 20 years. If it doesn't, then you have to start to calculate, is it worth me?
Is it worth the time investment to not be fruitful? But I love the experience, right? Like, I still love hunting, even though I'm not fruitful with it. But then I think when you have a kid, this is the way I see it. When you have a kid, and I'm planning to have a kid, like, our goal is like in the next year and a half, 2 years, somewhere in that time frame. So I'm like,
dang,
if I'm gonna do something, one, I want to be able to do it with my kid. Bow hunting backcountry, maybe not.
Yeah, you might be chilling.
I'm like, there's some folks that can do it. And Bravo 2, I don't know if that's going to be me, especially because it's all so brand new to me that I don't know I'll pick up the amount of skills to do it and make sure my kid's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet or if I ever will get to that point. I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm definitely not. It's not off the books, but I'm like, we either got to have success or move on.
Yeah.
To allow myself to be able to still be the dad that I want to be. Again, is how I show up in my life, is the way that I like. That's what matters to me. Like, am I the man I want to be?
Yeah.
And I've thought about that ever since I was a kid. And maybe my relationship with my dad looked different than the way I wanted it to. And then I got older, and I'm like, okay, what didn't you like about that? Don't be that then. And that takes work. And so I'm like, and I think a lot of it was like, I used to watch him work all the time. And I'm like, man, this man don't come do nothing with us. Like, he just works. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that. Yeah. And now, like, I slowly have adjusted my lifestyle where I'm like, okay, I can't travel and be a traveling filmmaker 200 days out of the year. Like, that doesn't work. Let's bring it under 100. like, let's keep moving forward to, like, be the man you want to be. Yeah. And so I'm like, a lot of that shit matters. And I'm like, okay, does backcountry hunting work? And if I have success, right, that changes shit. Because then I'm like, cool, I can dedicate 10 days. And it just means I got to give up a little bit of something else to be there in the way that I want to be there.
Yeah, but you go into it knowing that sacrifice, that 10 days away from your family is worth it, because I have been fruitful in the past.
Yep.
And I know how to put in the work to be fruitful again in this situation. Yeah.
Like, it's not a guess anymore.
No.
Like, I'm like, there's good odds because I've done all the work that I'm going to be able to come home and fill the freezer.
You know what this feels like? It feels like when you're starting a business, and which I've never done. But, like, I imagine it's like when you're trying to convince everybody around you and convince especially the person at home that your significant other at home.
Yep.
Like, well, when are you going to start making money?
Yeah.
You got like, is this idea going to work?
Yep.
It feels a lot like that.
It's 100%.
Because it takes so much. If you're doing what I believe is if you're doing it right, it takes so much sacrifice to where it does affect home. Right. And so your home base needs to be cool with you being gone.
Yep.
And thankfully, I think we have partners that understand it.
That are cool with it. Brooke don't love it because her birthday falls like right before elk opener, so she don't love that part. So I usually can't. At this point, I know that I do not get elk opener.
You kind of want to be out there anyway.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with not being out there for that.
A lot of bugling going on.
So a lot of bugling, a lot of cars driving around, like people trying to get it done because they got them 2 days.
A lot of elk die.
It's true. And I don't hate on it. It's just not the way I necessarily want to hunt. Like, I don't. And I'm like, I say that now, but I'm like, okay, let me fell again, and we'll see what the conversation's like.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, yo, I got a truck. We drive into the woods real quick and gonna hit these clear cuts, and we'll see what I can do in 3 days.
Yeah, I get why now. I get why dudes hunt that way, like when they have kids, and driving around the woods is a lot of times you see a grandpa or a dad with a kid in the car.
Yeah.
It's because that's what they can do, and that's
and it's like what can your body physically handle?
Yeah,
you know, like there's a lot of the shit that I think people just don't think about when they give that persona of do the hard shit all the time, and I'm like, some people can't do the hard shit all the time.
Yeah, or the hard shit looks way different for them. Right?
Yeah,
The hard shit for them looks like your easy shit.
Yeah,
right? That's fine.
Like our 2 miles in is maybe somebody's backcountry hunt
for sure.
You know,
like, a lot. Absolutely.
And that's part of it though, where I'm like, I think we're getting to that age where it's like the idea of doing this thing feels like I have to do it. Like, I have to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm never going to.
100%.
Because then you got more to risk. Like, if you have a kid, daddy can't just like not show up.
Right. And then to think, you it's like that with everything. I think we're at that age now where you set yourself, the course is set in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And if it ends up being bullshit that the course isn't actually set, our mentalities towards wanting to be better is I think going to bear a lot of fruit.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think so. But I guess just to, because this is episode like 1.
It's episode 1, the intro.
The intro, and I guess we should explain just real quick like what this year actually looks like for both of us. Like, what does a full hunting year in 2025 look like for you?
I mean, for me,
if you go from like
right, we got turkey in April.
Yeah, so like spring, like what do you like spring, and then you got summer, which there's not much going on in the summer out here. but then you got going into the fall and winter. So every season, what do you got this year?
I'm gonna do turkey. I'm gonna try to grab one of those spring bear leftovers. See what goes on with that, and then I'm gonna do a damage tag, I think, for elk and just try to get it done on the spot that I was in last year.
Yeah, you should be 90% on success.
I mean, it's still the woods, you know. It's still animals, so I'm gonna give some room for some error. The place I went, and I got a hog and turkey hunt at the end of March
down
in California. Yeah.
That's
so I'll do that, and then damage elk tag, and then archery deer tag, and then waterfowl. And I'm hitting it hard this waterfowl season. Yeah, getting the boat right. It's gonna be
Hey, put it on. I think they need to know how your season went this year, because you had.
It was a cool ass season, bro.
Your duck season was
my duck season was wild.
Was crazy. Yeah.
It was like I was like, oh, I'm a duck hunter now. Like I got a cinnamon teal, which don't watch YouTube, because then you feel like, oh, anybody can get it. It ain't how it is out here.
Not in Oregon.
You can go to Mexico and do it. You just can't. You can't do it like you can't. Like Mexico. There's a reason why they go to Mexico to get them teals. I got it here in Oregon, and then I shot a banded mallard, bro. Wow. That was a wild day too.
Like a buzzer beater too.
Literally, it was like 7 minutes before last.
That was the only bird that day, right?
That was the only bird I shot. Yeah. The only bird I shot, and it was like I was out with a cameraman. Whole situation.
Yeah, and I mean every day you came home with something. Every day you went.
I didn't get skunked.
Yeah,
at all.
Crazy.
Last year I had like, I think I had. No, I won't say I had more days skunked than I didn't, but I had a few.
Yeah.
I had a few days where I was out there in the morning for no reason other than the sunrise.
For sure, and especially so. The other cool thing about it is that you did that during a year where the migration was bad.
Yeah, and this was a bad year. Yeah. So I felt like I was like, dang, I'm actually a decent duck hunter.
For sure.
I shot way better, and then I got a membership at a shooting range that has all the shotgun skills. So I'll be shooting a lot this year.
Yeah, and a nice gun.
And I got a good gun. You know, shout out to the Frankies. I did get a nice semi-automatic.
Yeah,
wasn't jamming on me. That made I think it made a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. Come a long way from sitting under that tree in Puppy Pond.
You know, I would have still hunted that this year though, but it had a whole bunch of like green stuff on it, so I never got to hunt it, and there wasn't enough water until like late season, and then it was gross. But I'm gonna go back because I feel like I gotta pay my dues over.
Yeah, gotta get
because I shot one.
You got a dog too this year.
I shot 2 teal. Yeah, and my dog is working.
Yeah,
it was cool. I think the only thing I was missing is just like using my watercraft. That was it. And so this year I'm gonna put a new motor on the boat and get it.
So you got potential spring bear.
Yeah.
Spring turkey. Definitely going to do that.
Spring turkey's 100%.
And then damage elk tag in the fall, winter.
Because you can go all the way through March on a damage tag, which is crazy. Which is why I'm like, I think I got 80% chance. It's just me showing up.
Yeah. All right? I got you. We're gonna show up for sure. And then deer.
And then the deer archery.
Deer archery. So that's early and late.
Yeah, because you can do that late hunt, which we didn't do any days on the late hunt this year.
No, we didn't. We probably should have.
I think it was waterfowl. Like,
yeah, we were.
Then I was just hooked on the waterfowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea of a cold day in a tent was
that sounds way less appealing than sleeping in my truck.
Yeah.
Lying at Savi's. I'd rather sleep in my truck and lying at Savi's with my dog. Like,
and actually get to shoot at some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so for me, I've got a spring bear tag in Oregon.
Yeah.
That starts next month.
It's crazy.
Which is wild that we're back in hunting season. And then I'm also gonna buy an over-the-counter Montana bear tag, and then I put in for the draw for. I'm going to put in for the draw for Montana elk, archery elk. Well, which just an elk in Montana, the way the draw works there, and antelope in Montana as well.
Okay.
I'm not going to put in for deer there. I was going to. Maybe I'll try to get a point, but I just feel like in the graduation of a bow hunter, mule deer is sort of the crux. Yeah, I think
imagine antelope is even.
I think mule deer hunting is way harder on a bow than antelope hunting on a bow.
Shit.
If not for anything, because of where they are.
I did not realize that, but
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
I mean, trying to
Sneak in. And,
both are hard, I'm sure, but like one is at 7,000 feet and is clued into everything,
Mhm.
and then one is clued into everything but down in the plains. And so like I feel like it's a little different.
Okay.
I want to get there. I will maybe next year. I'll try to, depending on how this year goes, but
Okay.
I'll get there on mule deer. Which, if you watch Go Hunt, they're always going back and forth on mule deer or elk. Which one's better?
Yeah.
But I think a mule deer on a bow is maybe next year.
Mm.
And maybe I'm thinking about maybe
Idaho.
Idaho,
Go Hunt.
Colorado. I want to try to get into Colorado because their elk herd is crazy. I mean, they have like the best. This year was like 300,000 elk.
Yeah, I was like, and you gotta. It's all draw too there now.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
non-residents.
So you gotta put in some
Get some points over there.
points over there
I'm already building. I've already started last year. I got points.
for Colorado.
Yeah.
Damn, I
Yeah.
didn't do that.
Yeah. Because it's that's another thing too is
I
this
think I might do an OTC like rifle over there.
in Colorado.
Yeah.
You should still build points if you can. Just
Really?
like yeah, you should always. I feel like no matter what, any state that you
I've got points in Montana.
okay.
Yeah. I did Montana, but I haven't
Last
done. No, I missed last year's, but the year before. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 1 point.
Yeah,
in
1
Montana.
point. And so I'll for sure. I think I'll buy another one this year, and just kind of keep doing. Probably just build up something crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you just keep buying points every year in the states that you think potentially because it's worth the investment at that point. Because you never know, you might get to that point where you're like, oh, I want to hunt in Wyoming. Fuck, I ain't got no points.
Yeah,
And you can't go back. Like it's an investment. You know. What
That's fair. Yeah, if you start doing it now, and then you might meet the person that's like,
I mean?
oh, I got a good spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you ain't got no points.
Now I gotta pay 50,000 for a
Yeah,
tag.
for a guided hunt. Should we finish this first episode with a drink?
Oh yeah, let's get a drink. This is
1 year for you.
1 year. 1 year. I'll let you pour it up since it is,
Nah,
it is your whiskey. It's your whiskey, so I feel like that's the only proper thing to do. Is
There's a little bit of water in there. That might actually be kind of nice.
I'm gonna have mine.
Just straight up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm like, if it's the first pour in a year.
Yeah, too.
You know what's also crazy? I thought about this the other night when I got that Weller from you.
Yeah.
You know when we met over a Weller and Blanton's.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I was like, that was only like proper that the very first drink that it's obviously not gonna be the first.
Dang,
drink.
I
all good.
got a Weller in there. We could go.
No,
we could do that. It's already
nah.
cracked too. We could.
Nah, it's all
we could
good.
switch it up.
It's all good. It's all good. Because I'm like, this is perfect. This is perfect. I was just like, dang, it's kind of crazy because I was like,
Dang, it's just
that's when we first met. It was in the van and we were surfing. And
Dang,
I brought
hold
the
up.
Weller.
No. I gotta go get that Weller. Especially
because
I got one open already. You
Yeah.
don't have to open yours.
Yeah,
It's gonna be neat though.
that's the way it should be, anyways, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of water or a little bit of ice, but I prefer it just straight up the way that heaven's intended it to be. Yo, it's wild, bro. I ain't had a drink in a year.
I know, bro. But I'm honored that you would do it today, bro. I appreciate
Bro,
you.
of course. All right. That's crazy though. So this ain't the right Weller, but it's all right.
No, yeah. It's hard to find that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there we go. That's it right there.
Good
That's
gracious. Well, that's a cheers to first episode of the podcast.
First episode.
Cheers to getting this hunting season started.
Yeah, future success. So well yeah, that's a wrap. First
Like,
episode.
subscribe. What else did they say?
Click the button down below. Whatever. And then the big subscribe
thing,
joint.
and then it's whatever they do on podcasts, do that.
Yeah, that. We're supposed to have like a like I think Gritty says, stay gritty.
Oh, stay gritty. We gotta
come up with something.
yeah, we gotta learn to hunt. I don't know. Success is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. Maybe after a couple of drinks we'll come up with something good.
Yeah. All right. That's a wrap.
Mm.
Peace out.